So ISA-95 has indeed multiple parts, many parts, and they all serve their own purpose. What I saw in the past is that a lot of people, they start reading part 1 and then go to part 2 and kind of got lost in all the entities and the naming and everything that is going on. I don't think that ISA-95 has like a good like overview of this. This is what you need to go if you look for that. But typically, so it's strongly the part that you need strongly depends on what you're doing. If so part 1 is like a very good introduction of the whole thing. So it explains what is my MOM domain, what is inside my MOM domain, so manufacturing, maintenance, inventory, and quality. So those are my 4 domains. Where does that sit in between ERP and in between your controls layer? How does that interact? So that's all like introduction written in part 1. Then if we jump to part 3 is the part where you have that activity model what we just talked about. Part 3 is very good to anchor your user requirements. So if you go look at the manufacturing, or you want to implement a new system or part of a system, part 3 nicely goes through all the activities that happen in manufacturing, and they go into detail where it is good if you read them through. You say, we do this over there, we use this over there, or we do this in this application or in that application, and that can be completely fine, but it helps a lot in like mapping the current state of your manufacturing automation, but also the future state. So you can see gaps and you think, okay, this is something where I need to improve. So that's what part 3 is very good for. Part 2 and 4 are kind of linked together. So those really go deep into your entities, your objects. So where do I store a schedule? Where do I store my results, my performance? What do I do during execution, and where does that information land within the ISA-95 model? Both of them are very like UML and object oriented, so they are way more technical, those 2 documents, where part 2 focuses on the communication between level 4 and level 3, so information exchange between ERP and a MOM system, as well. Level 4 focuses on information exchanged between different level 3 systems. That is the difference between the 2. Part 5 and 6, they are about not just what to send. So what to send is in 2 and 4. 5 and 6 is how to send it. So 5 tells you, okay, now we've defined this body and this set of information that we need to exchange. Then part 5 is, how do I put it in, like say an envelope, put a header context on it? How does transactions work? Or do I need transactions for the information? So that information is in part 5. And part 6 tells you, okay, I've got like two applications that need to communicate. How do I go from a local MES system that has its own implementation and set of database to like a global thing, and how do I send that? So how do I put it on the line? So part 5 also describes things like MQTT topics, or what would be channels, things like that.